nice little thing, we pursue her. See a nice little thing, we pursue her. Yeah.
I feel like people don't need to know that. That's not an introduction.
Can you put it on me? Without further ado, this is our second time doing the intro because the first one I exposed a little bit too much. But I have the pleasure, and you all, I'm sure you will see it as a pleasure as well, of being able to interview, have a conversation with, learn more about somebody that's very special to me, close to me, family, and somebody that I've seen grow as I've grown. And it's been amazing to see, what should I say, what analogy, the flower that you've bloomed into. That was good, right?
I like that.
You liked it? Hey, see, she liked that, hating over there. And it is Jade. Cousin Jade. So this is my cousin Jade. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's all of the above. And we're going to go through all that in this interview, I guess you would call it. More conversation. First and foremost, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. That was quite an introduction.
Quite an introduction. That's what we do. That's what you deserve.
Thank you.
That's what you deserve.
I appreciate that.
We got to protect and celebrate our queens. You feel me? So this is just part of it. Obviously, you see Jade's glow. You're glowing. That is just not for the interview. This is how she walks around. And that's it. So, Jade, happy to be. Let's get a little hand clap. I'm going to press the hand clap button. Great having you on. And Jade, this is going to be a fun one. A fun one. You've seen me interview a few other people, but this one's going to be a fun one, and it's one where I get to learn a lot. Especially me. I guess I see myself as a business consultant. Jade has her own business. She grew her own business. She's thriving in a competitive market, so I want to be able to learn as well. And I don't know. Jade, tell us, I guess just thank you for being here. And what brings you to New York City? Give me a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I'm Jade McNeill, owner and principal of Jade McNeill Interiors. So we are an interior design studio based in New York, where I really design, I call it soulful modern interiors, where I really like to connect nature with modern day life and living to create a space that feels classic and timeless. Mm-hmm. Of course, with a modern aesthetic, because that's sort of what I'm trained and tailored towards. But, making it feel warm and comfortable and not that stark, cold, like straight lines, too minimal, sort of modern that pops into some people's heads when they think of modern. I like to create, warm and cozy spaces that still feel livable and inviting, but that also have that element of feeling elevated.
It's like your personality.
Exactly.
I picked up, see? No, seriously. Because I'm always, so one of the biggest things for me, like, I feel like anybody who's not an artist, or if you don't feel like you have like an artistic talent, you always envy other artists, especially if you're able to do that and incorporate that into your day to day. You know what I mean? Like, I look at some things that I do as an art, but it's not really art. I guess it's my own type of art, but people aren't necessarily seeing it, or it's not playing out. It's not something that you can actually visually create and take a picture of and enjoy. And everything that you just described, what made you want to go that route? Was it, this is the style of home that you would like, or is this just something?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the style of home where I live and that I feel most comfortable in, and that is what I want to give to people. When I'm designing someone's home, I always think, would I put this in my own home? Would I want to live with this? Because at the end of the day, people are coming to me because they like my style. So if it's something that I wouldn't have in my own home, why would I put it in somebody else's home?
It's a good point. How'd you get into it? Was that something that you always just enjoyed growing up, decorating your room?
I hate this question because...
how about, what did your room look like growing up?
My room growing up, Nothing really like my style now. I don't think that growing up I really knew what my style was. It was just sort of like, you pick out your bedspread on your bed, maybe some posters of like your favorite artists, and like you have whatever furniture your mom bought you. There was not a lot of room for expression outside of that.
I was all Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan. And it's funny that, I don't know, I feel like when we were kids, we had more artistic, we had different ways to express like our artistic qualities and stuff. And one of the first things we did it as decorating our room. And it almost served as a vision board. It was inspirational, like it kind of gave you the mood, it set the tone on different things without even really knowing, I think, what we were doing.
Yeah.
And it's funny how we get older, we get away from that.
Right.
But I think our home spaces shouldn't just be like, oh, I come home, it is what it is. There should be some intent around it.
Right. Intentionality, because it is your sacred space of where you come to every day, where you take your shoes off and you just like, as soon as you walk in the door, you should be able to just take a big breath out and just exhale and let it all out and feel like, okay, now I'm safe. I'm in my space.
Yeah. And it's funny, sometimes we take that for granted. We can spend our most of the time that we're spending is at home, especially with a lot of people working from home. Now, I'm assuming you're working from home out of the office.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us take for granted the impact that our home space can have on our overall lives. Is that something that you say?
I think COVID really changed that for a lot of people, right? To whereas before there were a lot of people who weren't really thinking or caring that much about what their home looked like and felt because they were out every night for dinner or out all day at work or traveling more. And then COVID happened and everyone had to spend so much time. They were forced to spend time at their house, right? Because we were still social distancing. So it wasn't like we were hanging out with our friends all the time or even our family. So maybe to where like you go to your friend's house who has like a bigger, nice house, or your parents' house or something like that. No, you're in your home, in your space, and now I'm sitting on my uncomfortable couch staring at these blank walls with no art, and the lighting is terrible, and I want to change this.
Are you taking shots in my apartment right now?
No.
I got a couple photos, couple pages up, but no.
No,
all
your
joke,
home feels cozy.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there, but no, that's a good point. It's almost like during COVID, a lot of us that we were forced to kind of sit here and just, you're sitting here watching Netflix all day. You want a space that feels good. And I think a lot of us, I don't know, that was it was very challenging mentally, for me in COVID, just to be in the house, to see the same walls all day and every day. And that's when, for me, I did notice like I had a lack of expression, in my apartment, where it just kind of, but I feel like guys are, I don't know. Well, I guess that's a good question. When you work with families or whoever it is it mostly like, are you working with both I don't know if let's say they're married, the husband and the wife? Do you find it easier to just work with one? Like now you got to navigate between, well, he likes this, she likes that. You know what I mean?
Two different personalities,
exactly.
2 different styles. I mean, I work with all types of people and couples, and I've done it all ways. Of course, it's usually easier to deal with one person and one opinion, but sometimes it is nice to have that second opinion because maybe, me and the husband are on the same page, but the wife is thinking of something else, and then he can sort of weigh in and reel her in.
Yeah.
Or for the sake of ease, sometimes it's just one person just cares less.
Yeah.
But I've worked all ways. It's most challenging when there's a couple who both have an opinion.
Strong opinions.
Yeah.
Like, I want to like this. So then that's where the artistry probably kicks in even more, to where you have to figure out a way to mold, I don't know, a Picasso style with a totally different style,
Right. A lot of creativity in merging the two styles, but it's also a lot of psychology in getting inside both their heads and getting them to agree on one thing. If they're both like polar opposites or just not agreeing, like I had this couple once who the husband really didn't want a white couch and the wife really wanted a white couch, and we ended up settling on a white couch, of course.
The husband didn't want it.
He didn't want it. And we compromised. I got, the performance fabric, indoor, outdoor, super durable. And that's how, like, we kind of weaned him over. But that was, like, those things, with that couple specifically, those things happened throughout the entire project.
Do you have a way, I'm sure now, like, with your experience, now you know how to kind of navigate between the two, give this person what they want. It sounds like you almost got to mediate, a little bit where you're But if you even think about your overall impact with just designing a home space and doing that for a couple, you're almost serving as like a marriage counselor in a lot of ways, like a mental health coach and stuff. Because think about it, you're creating the environment for two people to call home.
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
Or more.
And I have to consider everyone who's going to live there or be there or visit there, including, family members who come and visit or who come and stay for extended periods of time. If there's pets, if there's babies, if there's entertain all the time, like all those things have to be considered. Because in design, it's not how it looks first. That's not the first thing that we go for. You have to go for functionality. If it's not functional, then it's not going to work. It's going to look pretty for a little bit, but then it's going to be, I'm walking around and I'm walking into the table, or the white sofa's in silk and I spilled some wine, or I sat on it with my blue jeans and now I can't get the stain out. You have to make sure that it actually is durable and that it's functional. Yeah.
That's a lot. And there's so many things, like, there's a lot that goes into designing a home. And it's one of those things where I think my spaces fly until I see like another space and you get different for real. Like I get different inspiration where I don't know. Like now it's like, okay, I want to do the balcony. I just told you I just painted. I had a temporary inspiration, so I only did one coat, and I still need to go back. But that's just how my artistry works. But no, I like being able to, because it does. Your home not only sets the tone on how you're feeling when you walk in, but it sets the tone for other people, that you're gonna host, come in, and as we talked a little bit earlier before we started recording, I'm all about the vibes. So I feel like you're a certified vibe coach to where you're just
I like that.
certified vibe coach. Like that's how you think about it though. And vibes in different areas, because it's not just you. I need to create a vibe for you. I need to create, this is how it's going to feel when you walk in during the week. It may, this is going to, you're going to appreciate this aspect of it maybe on the weekend, on the day. Right. So like you have a lot to incorporate into all your decision making.
Right. Yeah. And it's like you said, when you invite people into your home, into your space, that's exactly what you're doing. And you're showing them a part of you, right? A part that maybe they haven't seen, or that you haven't really expressed, or maybe like you have these art behind us and someone's like, oh, I didn't realize that you love
Boys in the Hood. Sandlot.
Like,
get that on a camera woman.
Right now, that's a conversation that opens you up to where you can get closer to someone who you haven't bonded on that level yet.
You want to know what's wild? You bringing that up? I think I was just having a conversation with somebody, and I was saying how the Sandlot, like those two pictures mean a lot to me. One, Boys in the Hood, is like one of my favorite movies growing up from an educational part. It just, I don't know, it just gives a lot of gems. And I told this person, I said, you know what, this year I'm putting up the Sandlot because I'm swinging for the fences. For real, I'm swinging for the fences, and I'm letting y'all know I'm swinging for the fences, like just like that. And the Boys in the Hood just represents, just staying 10 toes down, like just, I don't know. And for me, it's important, and it's,
it means something to you.
Yeah.
right? And it's a symbol for you. Whereas some people might choose, you know, abstract art or some photography or something three-dimensional. Like everything that you pick and you bring into your home tells a certain aspect and story about you.
That's very true. That's very true.